Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Pure Biology, and today's topic is J-shaped curve or exponential growth curve. And before going to this topic, I want to say thank you to all of you who already who have subscribed my channel and support me for the growth of this channel. And here I also want to mention that someone has requested me to give a elaborate lecture on protein dimer and dimerization, and I try to describe it in another video. Okay, so here today's topic is that you can see. So first, before going to this topic, I just say that you can imagine any habitat, aquatic or terrestrial, anything that contains limited number of resource substances or food production is limited. That's why nature always try to fix the limited number of individuals in that habitat. Okay, for what? For just accommodation with the or they can easily fulfill their demands from the resource particle. Clear? That's why the population obviously limited, and this is called the carrying capacity. This is called the carrying capacity, and obviously this is dependent on their size and the productivity. If size is greater, then productivity is not greater. Okay, but size is very smaller. In that situation, like that insect, then in that situation, the reproduction or the I can say that the production of the individuals is very high. Okay, so this is called the carrying capacity. You can see that this is called the carrying capacity. And what happens sometimes the individuals number generation after generation in a population, when a population is accommodated with the proper natural habitat, in that situation, generation after generation, the number of individuals that will increase. Okay, and at the particular time, in such a situation create where the number of individuals is very high, and in that situation, this is called the saturated population. Okay, saturated population. And in that situation, what the individuals can do, they try to disperse from the original habitat to another new habitat. For what? For getting more food and resources and shelter, etc. Okay, so this is possible in that situation when the individuals are freely adapted with the nature. Okay, and they have the diverse genetic characters. Okay, diverse genetic character. If they have not diverse genetic character, they cannot sustain or they cannot be stable within the new area, or you can say the new habitat. So in that situation, when the population, when a particular population that is saturated by the individuals, in that situation, some individuals they try to just they try to leave the original habitat to the new habitat. In that situation, they must have proper adaptive features or adaptive capability. You can say that adaptive capability and diverse genetic features. That's why they can easily survive in the new habitat. Clear? And they can get there, as they are very limited number or very little number in their in the individuals, or the individuals are very little number in the new habitat. In that situation, they can get there easily the food resources and shelter and everything without fighting other individuals or within themselves. Okay, so in that situation, they reproduce more and more in the new habitat, and there they produce the maximum number of individuals. Clear? But this is happening what? In the very lower organisms. Okay, if the organisms are very short-lived, you can say the short-lived, or example you can say the insect. in that situation, the environmental resistance will not come to play and they will grow, and the growth rate that is calculated in that way, and this growth rate is occurring continuously, showing the exponential growth rate. Okay, showing the exponential growth rate, because if the size of the individual is large, in that situation nature can affect on them, but in cases of very small individuals or the population that containing the insects, in that situation the effect of the nature on that population is very little. So the growth rate is very high, or you can say that exponential growth rate is seen. Okay, exponential growth rate is seen. And in that situation, how we can calculate the growth rate? This is the formula. dndt equals to r dot n. dndt equals to r dot n, and dndt is the growth rate, r is the biotic potential, and n is the number of organisms in the populations. Okay, and this is the formula by which we can calculate the growth rate of that kind of populations. Clear? And this curve will be an exponential, characterized by the rapid increase of number up to a limit and then a sudden crash. What is happening here? First you can see this graph, and what is seen here there? That is the growth rate is actually increase, or you can see the growth rate is occurring exponentially. Okay, and it is showing a shape just like J. This is the J-shaped curve. And what happens? This is the crush. What is the means of the crush? So, without any damages, when the population increases exponentially, after some times there will be a crush is possible. Crush is why possible? Because of the same thing, natural calamities. That is the flood, storms, drought. Drought is not affected more. Storms, flood, and another natural calamities are also involved here. In that situation, the growth curve after going, or you can say after reaching to a particular point, that is the exponential point, that becomes crush, or that is totally broken down. And in that situation, only that population which have the higher R value, they can only grow again. Otherwise, in that population, that will be extinct. Okay, from the nature. And sometimes some population that are regulated by the density dependent factors, and in that situation, this population can grow in this manner. Okay, so population that totally dependent on the independent factors, not dependent on the you can see, or you can know that two types of factors are there. One is the independent factors, another is dependent factor. If the population totally dependent on the independent factors, in that situation they can grow exponentially. But this crash is obviously seen. This crash is obviously seen after certain point, you can say, or after certain time. When what a situation arises at that situation, the R values, the individuals which have the R values is very high, after crush they can grow properly. Okay, but which have the R values very low, they cannot grow again in the same manner. Clear? So this is the exponential growth curve or the J-shaped curve. Okay.